This is Daryl Evans with Kings Vision at LAKings.com with Kings Director of Amateur Scouting, Mark Yannetti. Mark, another draft behind the Kings right now. Talk a little bit about the kids that were selected by the Kings and why they were selected.
Well, Valentin was obviously a special case, as you can tell by the trade, and at the table the work that was done to get there, and we gave up quite a bit, frankly, to get there. Obviously, we've gone through a lot of scenarios to make sure that that we're prepared for everything, but that was one that was we had to do a little on-the-fly preparation, and he's just an outstanding talent, an unbelievable kid, and there's a lot of upside with him.
And when you look at the other picks that the Kings made going on through, selecting a goaltender a little bit further on, the reasoning for the guys that you selected and how you see them fill in and maybe possibly win.
Well, with Bartosak, Mike, Brent, and then Billy and Kim, both our goalie coaches, were in to see him play, myself included. And we actually watched some of his practices as well as games and video. And his practice habits, there was a natural level of compete and battle that not only was evident in the games, but it was also evident in practice. And that goes along with some natural athletic ability and quickness. Fundamentally, there's some work to do, but those intangibles are pretty hard to find. And when they shine through in a practice that he doesn't know you're there, as well as a game, that's something to work with.
And when you look at the big fellow that was drafted, the big right winger, I believe 6'6", what does his tool case hold?
We had our eye on him last year, and he was actually one of our potentials for a later slot pick last year. There were better players last year, and his development took another step this year. He's a piece of clay, a giant piece of clay. There is a lot of work to do. Fundamentally, he needs to be built. But he's 6'6". He can handle the puck. He's shown flashes where he's used the full triangle of stick handling, where he's shown depth, where he's been able to handle it in tight to a big 6'6" body, and then lengthen it out. And when you see flashes of that with a kid his size and his willingness to use that size, it's exciting. His willingness to use the size and his willingness to go to areas where his size can be a benefit is not yet matched by his ability to do it. He's grown past his body. His body's playing catch up now. So with the right tweaking, with the right work, and with him putting in, with our development team and him buying in, there's a pretty big ceiling there.
And I know with all the work and all the viewings you and your staff have had over probably the last couple of years of watching these guys, the fans in Los Angeles will get their first look. These players will come out and attend prospect camp here at the beginning of July. Looking forward to some good times.
Yeah, it'll be fun. There's a couple of older guys, that we drafted this year that you would hope would be able to step right in, and then you got a couple of young guys that are, it's a good blend. There's some talent up front, and some solid compete and work, and a couple little meat and potatoes in the back.
Mark, we appreciate all your efforts through the course of the year, and I know this is a big day for you and your staff. Congratulations on the selections that you made, and we look forward to seeing you in Los Angeles in the next week or so.
Thanks.
This is Daryl Evans with Kings Vision at LAKings.com with Kings Director of Amateur Scouting, Mark Yannetti.